Hey everybody, it's Allie Edwards and welcome back to our Facts and Feelings Story Play Week. Today is the last video in our series for this week, and what I'm going to be showing you is how I'm using the 3x4 cards in a 9x12 divided page protector layout to tell the story of some things that have been happening around here recently. Many of you guys know I'm not doing Project Life anymore in terms of doing weekly or monthly documentation, but I do still love telling those kinds of stories, and using Facts and Feelings as a jumping off point is, again, a great way to get more of the story told. So what I have here is two 9x12, 3x4 page protectors. I've printed out a bunch of different kind of random everyday life photos, cropped them to 3x4. And then what I'm doing is I'm pairing a journal card with each of the photos or the grouping of photos. So like this is going to be with this one. These two I think are probably going to be with this. Actually, maybe I'll switch those around. Let's do the beets by themselves. There we go. And then I've got pets here, a couple of facts and feelings about pets, facts and feelings about the yard, facts and feelings about some Anna stuff right now, facts and feelings about the seasons changing, and then facts and feelings about my friend Grace and I hanging out recently and getting excited for fall. I have one empty space up here, and what I'm planning to do in that one is I'm going to make I think a custom designed journal card using the stamp. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to use the outline and then facts and feelings. And I think I'm just going to repeat stamp all over this. I need to get a white piece of paper out first in order to have that be essentially like my title card, as if you were doing Project Life and having a title card. So maybe I'll put a date range on here. Just September 2024 is probably what I will do. And then I'm thinking I may be adding some word phrase stickers onto the photos. That's a common thing that I like to do when I'm working in this style of memory keeping, but I haven't decided that yet. And I might move a couple things around. Like I might move that over there. That'll keep the colorful ones, have two of those going on at the same time, or maybe this come down like this. Doesn't really matter that much. I can just decide, you know, which one maybe the pets have more facts and feelings that I can add in there right now. So for this one, again, I am going to be adding journaling directly onto the cards with handwriting. I have two cards left over from the kit. My idea that I will probably do with these at some time in the future is print out a full page photo and then have both of these journal cards on top of it as the home for the story that I want to tell. Now, of course, lots of times you might enter into a storytelling adventure like this and not use all the facts and feelings cards. You may be pulling out cards from other kits. You might be pulling out some sentiment cards. You might have other things that you are wanting to include, which makes perfect sense to me. In this case, I'm just using them all at once to kind of give you an idea of how you could tell your stories in that way. You can also create custom journaling cards that could repeat facts and feelings on your own using the stamp there too. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to go ahead and create a title card using the stamp set. For this one, I'm going to pull out some of the similar colors that were used in this kit, which is probably like, I'm going to bring on the navy, that's actually the dark green. I think I'm going to do the navy, which is Deschutes. And then, let's see, what do I have here? Here's that Columbia one. Maybe I'll do that. I also like the Olympia color that we have, which is kind of similar to the colors that are in this. I think I'll start with those and we'll see how that goes. So on this one, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the circle, and I'm not trying to do it in any particular fashion. I'm just going to stamp a few on here, and then I'm going to go back in with the other colors. So we'll start with 3. And I'm going to choose, the stamp set had a bunch of different little sentiments or a bunch of little images that could go inside of that circle. And I'm just going to do the facts and feelings one, but you could do, here's the story. We've got a few facts and some feelings that could have a star or a heart inside. Lots of different ways that you could bring those all together. And I think I'm going to actually mix up where these go. So that's like the inside of the blue. I'm using the Olympia inside of the darker blue. I also think I'm going to add in one other color. Sometimes I'll do this. I think I'm going to add a little bit of red into there. And the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to use the one that says about this story. And I'm going to just take my stamp here and I'm going to go around the circle stamp so that I can stamp it. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger. We'll give it a little more space on there. And then I'm pulling this one up so that I can still stamp it on there and have that little bit go around there. Just bring one other color into it. And I might just do it once. Let's see. Ooh, love it. It's just a little something that brings in that one other pop of color. I'll do it a couple times on here. Love it, love it, love it. Maybe right here too. This one. Yeah, I'm just gonna do two. The other thing that I want to add on there is the date. So maybe I'll just add a little something on there. I think I might move this guy over too. Maybe move this. And then maybe move this one. I actually just had another idea that might be kind of fun. I'm kind of thinking about ways that I could bring in some other like a sentiment card, you know, a card with a quote on it or something like that. And one of the ways that I could do that, and in a way that I wanted to show you guys that you could take these cards, is we could cut this one up. So it just had a fact and a feeling on each one of these. Let's see. I can set it right on top here, or I can make this one longer, which is probably what I will do. Trim off the top a little bit. And then this one I can choose which colors I want to use there. Probably have that on the bottom. And then either like this could go right here. Maybe I'll add in one more photo. All right, so after I cut up that Facts and Feelings journal card, the one that had the color blocks on it, I ended up taking those two cards specifically over to my sewing machine and running them through the sewing machine just with a zigzag stitch. I also took the Facts and Feelings stamped card that I did and did like a half circle of stitching on that. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but it is on there. I just wanted to add a little bit of something. Next up, what you can see I'm doing is I dove into my word phrase sticker stash, and I actually am pulling out the September word phrase stickers that were part of the Stories by the Month kit. I'm going to end up using those with the January Stories by the Month stickers and the let's see, September Stories by the Month, or August 2024 Stories by the Month stickers. So I'll have each photo has a black word phrase sticker, a green word phrase sticker, and then eventually here in a couple minutes you'll see that I'm adding a red word phrase sticker on top. I also decided to add in another photo. I had played around a little bit with adding a sentiment card there, but decided that another food related photo would fit really well there, especially with the specific story that that I was going to write about the beet chips that I made in that other one. I decided to add on the red word phrase stickers just to bring in a little bit more red. I think if I would have had a really great orange set, I might have done orange or something that was a little more of a fall color. But the red was a nice repetition of the red that I stamped, and the red that you can see like on the beets, and the red in the cup photo there as well. I added a little tiny attacher staple on top just to the red word phrase stickers. I like the little bit of texture that comes from that. And after I got all of those photos arranged, I got the stickers on top, then I went ahead and slipped them all into the page protectors. I did decide to add one of the chipboard circles on top. That's actually going on the outside of the page protector there. I liked the repetition of the circles and then just a little bit of contrast with the bigger chipboard circle there. And then I moved into simply adding my journaling. This is another one of those spreads that can really come together pretty quickly when you are focusing primarily on the words and photos, right? All my photos were printed. The only embellishment that I added on to there essentially are the word phrase stickers. I did do that little stamped journal card, but if you chose not to do a stamped or a stamped sentiment card or a stamped title card, then, and you pulled something from your stash, maybe a sentiment card from your stash, this would go even quicker. Obviously, you don't need to add stitching onto those. I just like that little extra bit of texture that comes from there. So then, as I am doing my journaling, I am simply letting the facts of each photo and the feelings of each photo dictate how I am telling the story and the words that I am adding on there. One of the things that I noticed as I was doing this time, I didn't refer to the feelings sheet, but I did think about it as I was adding on some of the feelings. And I was noticing how I think for me, I'm definitely someone that goes to the feelings first, even before the facts. So diving right into whatever it was that I loved about, what did I love so much about this photo that I wanted to include it, right? Or what was the story in this particular picture, and how is that a piece of our lives right now, and how do I feel about those, whatever that is, right? Whether it's food or the changing of seasons, or it's the girls going to high school, or hanging out with our friend Grace. I love this kind of reflective, simple, in the moment style of journaling where, it can be reflective and in the moment at the same time. It's a little bit of reflective. In the moment part is often the facts, right? What are the things happening in that moment? And then the reflective portion is where I'm bringing in those feelings. But love again, just being able to talk very specifically and encourage you very specifically to use facts and feelings as a way to get more of your story told. A big thank you for joining me during this Facts and Feelings week. I'm going to be back, if you're watching this in real time, in mid-November to do the Little Moments week. That will be the last story play of this year, and we are planning to have some additional story play kits next year. As always, if you guys have any questions, you can let me know in the comments below, and I wish you a wonderful time journaling with facts and feelings.